Okay, good morning and welcome. Good morning. It's good afternoon and welcome to Just Daf It. Daf Yomi Shir, we're learning Yevamos Kuf Daled and Aleph, a special Father's Day gift to give you two shiurim for one day. So if you're a father and you're not learning Daf Yomi, I'm giving you a present, two dafim. Right? You thought it was hard to do one daf, do two dafim a day. We start a new program. You'll finish all the shots in 3.25 years. Pretty good. All right, Mishnah. The Mishnah on Kuf Daled at far line down says Chalta b'layla. If you do chalitza at night, technically you're supposed to do it during the day. Chalitza kshera b'diavad, it's kosher. Lezer poster. Lezer says it's not good b'diavad. We'll learn why. But small chalitza psula. If you use the left shoe, obviously the right foot. It can't be the left foot, but it was of the Yevamos. But if you take a left shoe off the right foot, it's psula. Lezer machshir. I'm sorry. This actually is talking about the left. We learned if it's a left shoe, it's kosher b'diavad according to everybody. Here, she's taking off the shoe off his left foot, so it's possible according to Tanakama. Lezer says machshir. Lezer says it's machshir. We possible halacha both of them. He says leim v'hakal mifligi. What's the machlokas about doing it at night? Mar savar makshin rivul in a goyim. Right. The Tanakama says that at night it's okay. Right, Rabbi Lezer says it's possible. He's makish rivim tenagoyim. Right, nega saras. This is a biyom. You have to see the saras during the day, and it says in the pasuk chol nega v'chol riv. There's a hagish in the pasuk. So dinei mamid is also have to be during the day, and similarly, this is also dinei mamid. Chalitza involves dinei mamid. We're going to talk about this in Yom Ben Sion. How it obviously involves the fact that she's matir her to the shuk, but also he technically the yavam was in charge of the inheritance of the dead brother, and now he's losing that. Doing chalitza, he's divesting himself of that inheritance. Tanakama says kosher at night is not makshir l'nagam, so it's okay to do it at night. The word is low. The chuli amalo makshir l'nagam. Everyone doesn't compare the two. The makshin and afilu gmardim b'layla nami low. If we would compare it, so then we would end up that any dinei mamnis, even if it's the gemar din, right, or the verdict, right? You have two parts to every din. You have where people make their case, and then the verdict. So that's the gemar din. The gemar din, we know the Mishnah in Sanhedrin says the gemar din is okay at night. You just have the tchilas din during the day, because so obviously everyone holds the fact you see Masech Sanhedrin that you can have the gemar din at night, that no one's makish rivim to negoyim. Just because Nagoyim has to be during the day, dinei mamnis don't have to. What's the malchus over here? Right? Tanakama holds. Rabbi Lezer holds chalitza is like tchilas din, and therefore tchilas din can't be done at night, like dinei mamnis can't be done at night. Marsav chalitza kamar din damya. The other opinion holds chalitza is like the end of the din, and therefore you could do it even at night. Like that's Tanakama shita. Rab Barchia katusva. Avda uvda b'muki, b'mok, uvi yichidi, uva laila. He did it with a moccasin, in front of one person and a night. Amar Shmuel Kamar Rav Guvrei Avid Kichidai. How big this guy is really going out there? He must be thinking he's a big person, that he's paskening 3 halachas like a yachid opinion. My kasha. So the Gemara says, what's the kasha on him? What's his problem? Mok stama. Mok, that's a stam mission. It seems that everyone agrees on moccasin is okay. Stamatanya, Lila Stamatanya, right? Our Mishnah, the majority opinion, Tanakama hold Lila's good. Ela Yechidi got kashalei. The problem he had, his packing the Yachid was it comes to doing in front of only one judge as opposed to 3 judges. Hey Chiavid b'Yechida Yechidi Yechida Kasani La. This nan Chalta b'Shnayim Vashlosha v'Nimsa Echem and Karov Apostle. The Mishnah says do chalitza in front of 2 or 3 dayanim, and one of them is Karov Apostle. So even if you have 2 and one of them is Karov Apostle, he's a relative, or he's apostle for Eidos, or for Dayanas, Chalitzasa Psula. Shimon Yochanan Sandar Machshirin. They allow even one dayan. Ma'isa be'echad shechal beinav beis hasurim. But Ma'isa and Rabbi Akiva Hichshir. Rabbi Akiva went one step further. They did a chalitza in jail, and there was no dayan present. And Rabbi Akiva heard about their testimony. They testified about it afterwards, and he said it was good. Amar Yosef Manyumi, Amar Nachman, Ein halacha goes to zug. He says the halacha is not like that pair. Really, you need 3 dayanim, or at least 2. So that's why he was passing at the yichida in terms of doing it in front of one judge. Really, all 3 things were mentioned by a single opinion. Tanya Amar Yishmael Riyosi, Ani Reisi, Yishmael ben Elisha, Shechalatz v'mok b'yichidi v'layla. He went out on a limb. This Tana to a moccasin in front of one dayan at night, and I guess that would be, according to this answer, we would say that the stomach on our Mishnah, the Tanakh Mishnah, was a yachid, was Shmuel ben Elisha. The small chalisasa, it's a machlokas, but with the left foot. So my time with the Rabbanan. What's the reason the Rabbanan? They say it's puzzle. Amarula Yalfinan regel mi Mitzorah. We learn Gzera Shava of regel from Mitzorah. Malahala and the Yamin. It's funny, like we're doing by the shoes, and my shoes are killing me right now. I don't know why. I just took off my shoes. The Chalitza. I'm gonna show you. I just took off my shoes because they're killing me. I don't know. They're pressing on top of my foot. Maybe I should be wearing sandals. All right. So the Gemara says, "Small chalitza." My time with the Rabbanan. What's the reason the Rabbanan say it's possible? I'm really feeling regel Mitzorah. We learn from Mitzorah. Malahal and Diyamin. By tzaras, right? You're supposed to do it. You're supposed to put the blood on his right thumb and his right toe. Malahal and Diyamin. Afkan Diyamin. It says regel over there. His right toe, big toe. Here also it means the right one. Lezer Yalif regel Mitzorah. Lezer doesn't learn this. Gzera Shava. Time Lezer Omer Minan Ritzia. She wasn't a Yeminis. How do you know Ritzia, right? We know the halacha. An Evid Ivri is supposed to work for 7 years. If he says a hafti as each day, it's banai lo yitzei chofshi. I don't want to go free. Avada la'olam. Niksha, the master brings him to the door. He gives him an earring and he makes him an Evid forever. Forever. La'olam. Rashi says Yovel. How do you know that you do it? Which ear do you pierce? You pierce the right ear. Nemar kan ozim, nemar lahalan ozin, malahalan yamin, afkan yamin. Right? It says in a different place by Sarah, by Mitzorah, it says ozin. So therefore, he puts the blood on the right ear. Also here, it puts it on the right ear. So you see, it does darshan the Gzera Shava. And now we mix it up. In the Mishnah, we say that Tanakh Amal is puzzle is really Reb Lezer holds that it's puzzle. We see over here by Ozen Yeminis. But according to Tanakh, it would be okay. Rav Amar La'olam Lo Teba. Really, you don't have to switch. Ozen Mufni, regel Lo Mufni. The Gzera Shava Ozen, each word is extraneous, so therefore you can make Gzera Shava regel when it comes to making the Gzera Shava from the feet. So that's not extraneous. Vichlo Mufni might pirach. Even if it's not extraneous, you can still darshan the Gzera Shava unless you have an objection, a rational objection. So the Gemara says, there is Malam Mitzorah Shakin Ton Eitz Eretz Ve'ezav Shnei Tolas Tzaras Mitzorah. He needs certain things, right? You need a cedar tree, you need a hyssop, whatever hyssop is, and you need Shnei Tolas, a certain type of scarlet thread. All these things you put in the mixture over there. You're maza on him, you sprinkle on him. So that's why it's unique over there, and you can't learn it out to over here. Mishnah Chalza V'Rakaka Avalo Kara. Did chalitza. She did chalitza. Took out the shoe off V'Rakaka. She spat. Avalo Kara. She didn't read the psukim. Chalitza Shera. B'Yevet. It's kasher. Kara V'Rakaka Avalo Chalza. She read the portion of the Torah. She spat. Avalo Chalza. But she didn't take the shoe off. Chalitza Psula. Everyone agrees you have to take the shoe off. That's the main part of chalitza. Chalza V'Kara. It's just chalitza. And she read the pasuk of Avalo Rakka. She didn't spit. Rabbi Lezer Omer Chalitza Psula. Rabbi Lezer says the chalitza is possible. This is a long time with the Yevit. You have to do all three things. Rabbi says that the Yevit is still kosher, even if she doesn't spit. So the Gemara on top of Kuf Dal, Rabbi says, Amar lei Rabbi Lazar, Kacha Yaseh. I said to him, Kacha Yaseh, this is what you should do. Kol darshu ma'isa ma'akiv. Anything which is a ma'isa, right? And two things that are ma'isa, right? Kriya, your mouth, is not really considered a ma'isa. That's just saying words. So an action is with your physical body. So therefore, spitting and taking off the shoe are a ma'isa. So it's ma'akiv. So rakika should be ma'akiv. I'm going to be akiva misham raya kacha yasel ish. Kodashu ma'isa be'ish. Only thing which are actions that are done to a man, right? The woman is supposed to spit. And she's also supposed to take off the shoe, but it's off the man, so that's an action that's related both to the man and the woman. But the action of spitting is only related to the woman, so therefore it's not ma'akiv according to Rekiva. Cheresh nechlatz v'charesh shechalza. Right, the Yavam was a cheresh, was a deaf mute, or a charesh shechalza, or the Yevama, she's taking off the shoe, she's a deaf mute. But chaletz is the katan, right? Or the Yevama is a gedola, but she does chalitza. The brother that's a katan, chalitza is the psula. It's not good. Katana shechalza if the woman, the Yevamos, was a Ketana, and she does Chalitza, Tichlos Mishatagda, she should do it again when she comes older. It sounds like there is some validity, but we're going to see, in the Eno Ben Sir, we're going to see there's two levels, right? There's the Pasal to the Achin, and then the Matra to the Shuk, and also inheritance. We'll get to that. There seems to be a split over here also. So, Chalitza Psula, but the Eved, the Chalitza Psula. Chalza Vishnayim, Mishlosha, Mr. Echem, and Karvo Pasal. If they did chalitza in front of 2 or 3 dayanim, and one of them was found to be karov apostle, either a relative or apostle aid or apostle dayan, chalitza psula, it's apostle, you need 2 or 3. Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Yochanan, and Sander, Machshirin, they say technically even 1 dayan is okay. There was an incident where chalitza was done in private, in jail, between a man and a woman. I don't know why the man and the woman were in jail cells together. Usually people don't put the man and woman together in the jail cell, but they did it. And they told Rabbi Akiva about it. Rabbi Akiva heard about it. And it was machshir, even though there was no dayan. And we'll have to discuss that more in the Gemara. The Gemara says, Amar Rava, Hashda Amar is Kriya Lama'akva. Now the Mishnah says that Kriya, according to everybody, is not Ma'akiv. If you have someone who's not deaf, he just can't speak, right? He has a problem with his larynx. What is it called? His larynx? I don't know. His vocal cords. He can't say words. The chalitza should be kshera, because right, the worst they have is that you just can't do kriya. Mishnah says if a person's a deaf mute, right, they can't speak and they can't hear, either the yavam or the man, the yavam or the yavama, it's possible. My time, the reason a cheresh is possible. Because both the man, the Yavam and the Yevama, they can't say the words, they can't say the parsha. So here also an Elam and Elam should also be possible. The Gemara says, "Lo, mishum lav bnei deinu." There's deaf mute. They not only can't they speak, they also can't hear, so they don't have intelligence. But an Elam has intelligence. Kachi Elam Elam is nami. Amar Rava Elam Elam is bnei deinu. The Gemara originally had Havamin over here. Maybe they also lack intelligence. The Gemara says, "No, they have intelligence." But my the koiv they just have problems with their vocal cords, they can't say words. Yana says the reason is they're not included in the Torah says Amar, he has to say a thing, and she has to say Amra. So how could they be good? Ella Kietmar the Rabba Seifa. My Rabba was talking about it going on the Seifa. The Mishnah says a deaf mute, all these cases are possible. Since you see Kriya is ma'akiv because a deaf mute can't do it. It is possible. What the Mishnah says that you only need b'di'evet, you only need taking off the shoe and rakika. A Kriya is not ma'akiv. K'Rabzera, it goes like K'Rabzera sheet. Our Mishnah also K'Rabzera. Dam K'Rabzera kol roy lebila and bila ma'kevesbo. Kol shein roy lebila bila ma'kevesbo. Technically, K'Rabzera is talking halacha manachos. If it's roy lebila, meaning if it's a small enough container, it only has 60 something. So I'm not sure exactly. The maximum shear in order for the kli to hold has to be a certain amount. Let's say 60 saw. I'm not sure 68 saw. So that's considered royal labila. If you put the oil in there, so it mixes well together. So therefore, even if you don't put the oil, technically bila mixing is not ma'akev. It's only l'chadchila to mix the oil with the flour. So if it's in the right shear, so then you don't need to mix it with the other. But you put too much, you put 61, so bila ma'kevesbo. So then it's not royal bila. Even if you would mix the oil, it wouldn't mix properly. So therefore, same thing over here. Since it's not roy, because the person is an ilam ilemis, they can't speak. So therefore, if they could speak and they just don't say the psukim, that's not ma'akev v'di'evet. But if they can't speak at all, that's bila ma'kevesbo, like Rav Zera says. Yevama, that's bad. She should do chalitza. Sounds like we're talking about, right? She did rakika. So we can't say, oh, the rakika is invalid by itself, so therefore maybe someone can do yibum. No, she has to go ahead and do chalitza. Yibum is off the table. She can't pause the achen. Mani, who is this? Rabbi Akiva. It's Rabbi Akiva. Hashem makom mitzvah dikal meimar midi dahava amurim dechiles nu l'ma'akvi v'chiles nu ma'akvi. Amar Rabbi Akiva l'ma'akva ma'achvin ifsala. So where it says by emurim, right? Technically, in order to eat the basar of a korban, you don't have to put the emurim, the forbidden fats, on the mizbeach and burn them. If you don't put them on, it's not ma'akiv eating the basar. It's still ma'akiv, but if they are around, and they're not lost, they are around, you don't put them on the mizbeach, it is ma'akiv. Akiva says it's not ma'akiv. Ma'akiv ifsala, so why over here actually puzzle from the akin? The Ella, Rabbi Lezer, according to Rabbi Lezer, about Shnei Dvarim Matirin, in Ma'alan Zeh, right? Shnei Dvarim Matirim, we're talking about the Chalitza and the Rakika over here. Those are two things that are both needed. So Rabbi Lezer says, Shnei Dvarim Ma'alan Zeh, they work without each other, they don't need each other. Ella Karebi, Holzmas Karebi, the Sanya, Kivsei Atzeres, Mekadsh Alechem Elav Shchita. When you have on Shavuos, you bring these kivsei atzeres, special karbonos, these sheep. You're supposed to bring it with shtei alecha. Once they shech the lambs, then it's makadesh the lechem shtei alechem. Ketzad shachton lishman mizarak dam lishman. We shechted these sheep for the proper intentions, and zarak dam lishman. He threw the blood in his beach lishman. Kiddush alechem. Then if you did both of these things, makadesh the lechem, the bread, and the kohen could eat it. Kishachad shalo lishman, mizarak lishman. Lo kiddush alechem. Shachtan lishman v'zarak daman shalishman kodesh ve'eno kodesh divrei Rebbe. So if he the shchita shalishman is zarak lishman, everyone agrees it's not, the lechem is not kodesh. What about his shachtan lishman v'zarak daman shalishman? He did the shchita proper intentions, but the zrika without proper intentions. Rebbe actually holds that one could work without the other, as opposed to Rebbe Lezer we just saw one doesn't work without the other. Meaning it's kadosh ve'eno kadosh, meaning it's makadesh alechem, but the kohanim are not allowed to eat it. So Rebbe is the one who holds. Rebbe Shimon argues on him. He says, no, you need both things. You need the shchita lishma and you need the zrika lishma. If you don't have both of them, then neither of them is effective. The lechem is not kadosh. The lechem is not kadosh at all. It doesn't get kedusha. But we see anyway, there's an opinion of Rebbe that one could work without the other. So that's what we're saying over here. It's according to Rebbe over this halacha, that if she does the rakika, she's ifsalam achim. No one can do yibum with her anymore, but they still have to do chalitza in order to mat her to the shuk. And also, we'll see, in order to remove him from being able to inherit his brother's nechasim. We'll talk more about that in Ben Sion coming up right now.